Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid. See how y'all living on this wonderful Tuesday. Y'all see the subject matter for the day. We talking about the cause of death. We talking about something that's undocumented, that's literally killing us all. And we gonna build on it, man. It's almost on a metaphysical type of tip. But before we get into that, y'all let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Tuesday. What's the word? How everybody living and feeling? Jeff, peace. What's happening? Talk to me before I start talking. Y'all give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes. Hopefully, y'all got about 30 to 45 minutes to chop it up with the kid and tap in, listen to the bill. TZ, peace. What's happening to you, my brother? What's happening with you, my brother? Ray, peace. What's the word? What's happening? How we living and feeling on this wonderful Tuesday? Hopefully, y'all staying healthy, positive, productive, efficient, powerful, all that good stuff, man. What's the word, though? Let me know how y'all living and feeling. On this day, January the 3rd, man. The math for the day is understanding. That's the best part, man. We always strive to gain an understanding in life. Always strive to gain an understanding. That should always be your objective, man. If you got any type of fear, they say the best way to conquer fear is to gain an understanding of that which you are afraid of. So always strive to gain an understanding. That will eradicate any fears that you may have. And then a lot of our problems in regards to relationships, they stem from misunderstanding. So always strive to gain an understanding. That way you can move forward. That way you can conquer goals, conquer life. So most of these things, most of our problems stems from misunderstanding. So once the understanding is understood, problem is solved 98% of the time. Magic, peace, what's happening? TZ, let's get on it. Emmanuel, peace, what's happening? So again, always try to gain an understanding. And this is for self, and this is for people around you. Always gain an understanding. Get to the bottom of it by getting to the root cause of the issue. That's the way you get to the understanding and make the understanding understood. Root cause, Caleb, peace, what's happening? What's happening? What's the word? How we living and feeling, my brothers? How we living and feeling? We focused on living, you know what I'm saying? But in order for us to focus on living, we got to see what's causing death around here. When I came across a philosophy that resonated with me. It's something that I've always said, thought about and just embraced. And it was talking about a cause of death that goes unnoticed, unidentified, undocumented. It was like you invite death the moment that you neglect life. So neglecting life is when you start to invite death into your life. Now, again, that may sound simple, but we don't even understand all the ways that we tend to neglect life. Simple dietary choices that you make would be you neglecting life. Every time that you choose to consume something that's not adding on to your life, you are neglecting life and you are inviting death. That's how deep this thing can get. Any type of conversation you choose to engage in that's not adding on to your life, that's bringing more chaos than order and structure in life, you are inviting death. So again, neglecting life invites death. That's something that I've always said and something that resonates with me. And that's one of the main causes of death. When you look at the actual causes of death, King repeats what's happening. When you look it up online and see what's the main causes of death of Black people in America, Black men in America, or people in America in general, you're going to get a boatload of diseases. And a lot of these diseases stem from us neglecting life. Lifestyle choices. And for the most part, we choosing death over life. Whether it's food, whether it's environments that we placing ourselves in, whether it's music, whether it's us overindulging in drugs, whatever the case may be, we choosing death over life. And I feel like that's the biggest cause of everything that we see. What I mentioned, we got a lot of people that are alive, but not a lot of people that are living. So you walking past dead people every day, mentally dead. You know, and that's the first step. So you walking, you Outcast and Montel, peace, what's happening? We walk past dead people every day, literally walking past them. We walk past mentally dead people every day. A large chunk of the population fit the description of being mentally dead. God is peace, queen, what's happening? Large chunk of the population. So we walking past. Hey, some of us in this stream may be already mentally dead, you know, and we trying to resurrect ourselves mentally. That's what we mean. That's what it is. That's what it means to be born again. You dig? When you start to discover yourself and when you attain knowledge of self, that's what being born again means. You know, so you can resurrect from that mental dead state, but a lot of people don't, and that's unfortunate. But a lot of people are walking around in that state. I was walking around in that state. I was mentally dead, did not know who I was, had no type of knowledge of myself. Then I acquired that knowledge of myself, and boom, I was born again in that sense through the knowledge of myself. Then I was able to redefine my purpose in life and create a purpose for myself in life. But if you don't have that knowledge of self, man, you just mentally, you are in that dead state. And again, that's a good chunk of the population. Most of the people that you're going to walk past in life, they're going to be mentally dead. Mentally dead. They alive. Their organs are functioning, but they not really living. They don't have no purpose. They just going through the motions. That's a sad way to live. That's a sad way to live, man. You a person, you living without a purpose. You living with no direction. You living and you allowing other people to guide which guide and dictate which way you go. That's not living. That's not living at all. So when you see a person and that's how they maneuvering, it's dead. That's death. That's death. That's literally what that is, man. That is death. You are being controlled by other folks. You allowing them to dictate when and how you move. You don't have no say-so in your own life. That's death. It's a dead person. And we got plenty of that. I vow to not be that person. I'm going to have some say-so in the way that I move. I'm going to have some say-so in how my life, you know what I'm saying, and how my life unfolds. You know, I'm going to have some input. I'm not just going to allow all these external factors to control and dictate what goes on in my life. You know, so that's how you resurrect from that mental dead state, man. Gain some control over your life by figuring out who you are. But it's a lot of people that's walking around and they have no clue as to who they are. So if you're walking around as to no clue, with no clue as to who you are, you're dead. That's death. Lindell, peace. What's happening? That's death. And like I said, you see it. You see it on a consistent basis. On a consistent basis, daily. Just look at the decisions that most people around you make. Analyze your decisions. Or are you making decisions revolving around life predominantly? If the answer is no, then it's time for you to make some alterations. It's time for you to make some adjustments and change. Most of the decisions that you make in life, they should revolve around life. Stop inviting death, and then we wonder why it hits us. You got to stop inviting it by neglecting life, man. You got to live. You know what I'm saying? You got to eliminate fear. When you live in all this type of fear, man, you exist within that fear, man. You're not living. So you have to eradicate fears out here, man. You can't be afraid out here. That's not a good way to live. You know, that fear can make you sick. Not even can, it will make you sick. It will lead to disease and things along those lines, man. So you must eradicate that fear, and that's when you start to live. You know, that's when you start to thrive. We giving y'all some keys to living a productive and efficient life, a healthy life. And that's what it's about. Yeah, we all got to go, man, but we striving to build some legacies, man. At least that's what you should be striving to do. And you should be striving to live a high quality life. I'm not just trying to exist and go through some motions and then it be the end. Like, nah, that's ridiculous. That's not a good way to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm striving to leave my impact and my imprint on this world while I am here, so that they can look back 100 years from now and learn something from the kid. That's how we do it. That's how we supposed to do it. That's why our ancestors did the hieroglyphs, man, and wrote the stuff on the wall. They drew the pictures on the wall. They was trying to let us know something, give us some game. That's what we supposed to do. Generations way after us, we supposed to leave a legacy behind so they could be like, all right, this is what they were doing. This is what they were going through while they was here. Let's take some jewels from this. Again, our ancestors did that. That's our ancestors' move. We got to emulate that, man. We got to pass the game down to the generations that's going to exist way after we gone. Way after we gone. We still got jewels from ancestors that existed 400 or 500 years ago, thousands of years ago. That's what we should be striving to do. That's what it's all about. But we can't do that if we walking around opting for death everywhere we go. Every decision you make. I'm not going to eat these fruits and vegetables. I'm going to eat this fast food, inviting death. I'm not going to read this book. I'm going to watch this toxic TV program, choosing death over life. I'm not going to listen to any type of positive music. I'm going to listen to all ratchet music, death over life. And you wonder why your life is a reflection of that type of chaos. You wonder why your life is a reflection of that type of vibe and frequency. Look at your decision making. Analyze it. Be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Are you promoting life? You promoting death? Most of y'all know the answer to that question. Most of y'all know what y'all doing on a day-to-day basis. Y'all know what's going on. I ain't got to remind y'all. You know what I'm saying? Be truthful. Stop lying to yourself. If you know you choosing death 80% of the time, more than 50% of the time, it's time for you to make some extreme changes. Some extreme changes to your life. That's what I did. I realized I was opting for death, man, and my body was letting me know. Most of the time, your body will let you know. Your body is all wise and intelligent. If you're not treating the body right, if you're not giving the body the proper tools to thrive and survive, then it will speak to you. A lot of times we just don't listen to that. You know, my body was listening to me. It was like, yo, what are you doing? You're not supplying me with the proper nutrients. You're not supplying me with the proper tools in order for me to grow strong, in order for me to thrive and be healthy. So let me talk to you real quick. And so I started to listen. I started to listen and make necessary changes, do the necessary research, etc., etc. A lot of y'all neglecting what y'all body is trying to tell y'all, and that's a problem. Listen, you ain't just randomly got a headache for no reason. You ain't just randomly tired for no reason. You tired all the time. You tired. Listen, you tired 6 days out the week. That ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? You getting a headache, what you think is out of nowhere every other day. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Your body is trying to let you know something. You walking up stairs and you tired. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are not good signs. These are not good things. Stop making a joke out of that and start doing something about it. Create a plan or a strategy and execute that joint. But stop neglecting all of these signs, man. Stop neglecting them. Again, that headache is something to that. You need to look into it. You wake up, your knee, your back hurting, it's something to that. Look into it. You got to start caring for your body. You got to start caring for your mind. You know, who cares if it costs money, man? Make an investment. We waste a lot of money on nonsense. We spend a lot of money on debt. So why you can't spend money on life? Think about it. If you got hit with a crisis right now to where you had to fight for your life, you're going to spend the money to try to survive. So why you can't just spend that money to take preventative measures? It's the same situation, man. If something happened to you right now and you had to fight for your life, somehow you're going to spend this money. So let's just look at it. Let's just take that approach every day, man. Spend that money on that healthy food. Spend that money on, like I did, the float therapy. Spend that money on acupuncture. You know what I'm saying? Spend that money on a chiropractor, whatever it is that you must do. Spend that money. It's an investment, man. And it's going to come back to you 100-fold. The only thing that can happen when you make that investment is that you elevate mentally and physically. And when you elevate mentally and physically, you get rewarded in life. So that money that you spend is going to come back to you when you invest it in your health, when you invest it in life. But when you invest it in death, that's what you get. That's what returns to you. So be mindful where you allocate those funds, man. Dion, peace, what's happening? Those funds should go towards life, man. When it goes towards life, that is an investment. That is not money that is wasted. Comes back to you, and it comes back to you in a very positive light and very healthy and helpful light, you know. And and the stuff is not as expensive as we like to make it seem. You know what I'm saying? Eating healthy is not as expensive as we make it seem. Because for one, when you're eating healthy, you're not supposed to eat that much. You will not even be able to eat that much because the body will be satisfied. Instead of you eating all of these empty calories and the body sending off hunger signals like, hey, we need some nutrients. But you just ate, but you ate empty calories. The body didn't like that. It's like, nah, we need nutrients. So we don't care that you just ate something. It was empty. So let's send off some more hunger signals. So now you overeating because you're not feeding the body what it needs. When you feed the body what it needs, the body doesn't do that because now it's satisfied. So when you eat a meal that contains all the nutrients that the body needs, it's not going to send off a hunger signal telling you to eat again in 2 or 3 hours. It's good. So you will have more control over your appetite when you start to eat right and exact, when you start to choose life over death. So you will not overeat. So you won't spend that much money on food. You start to spend too much money on food when you eating these empty calories, when you eating all of this processed food, because the body will never be satisfied. It will never be satisfied. So again, when you choose life over death, it will always benefit you. It will always be considered an investment. It will always be considered an investment, and you will always get rewarded. You will always get a huge return on that investment. That investment never fails, man, when you invest in health. You know, matter of fact, I was having a conversation with a client, man, and she was just letting me know she had a conversation with somebody that said they don't work out because they don't feel like it extends your life. These are the type of, those are the type of conversations that don't even make any sense. For one, it's 2023 when you sitting around talking about or making a statement like you don't believe exercise extends your life. Like, come on, are we this ignorant? That ain't something that you got to believe. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't a belief system. We ain't walking around talking about exercise extends your life like this is a religion. That's not a religion. That's something that can be backed by facts. Somebody talking, I don't believe exercise extends your life. Dude, that ain't a religion. It's an actual fact. That's known. Studies have been conducted. Like like you exercise, you eat right, your life is extended. When you start fasting, it's activating the fountain of youth. Like it's literally that's literally what's going on when you fast and when you exercise and the things along those lines. Prevents you from having fractures, prevents you from having a lot of diseases and ailments when you choose to exercise. So again, somebody walking around telling me, hey, I don't believe exercise and extends your life. Like that's not a belief system. That's what you tell a person like that. It's not a religion. It's not something for you to believe in. You don't have to believe in facts. Facts are facts. Like that's ridiculous. You don't need to believe in a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to believe in that. So that's those are the type of mindsets that I don't associate with those type of mentalities. I don't associate with that type of energy and vibe. And I don't recommend you do it either. R card, Daryl, peace. What's happening? Daryl, this is what I'm saying, you know. Crippin' 2 times, my brother, peace. What's happening? When it comes to certain things, man, it's not a religion. It ain't about what you believe. It's about the facts. And when I started to study nutrition, see, this is the thing I have. This is the problem I have with people. When I started choosing life over death, a lot of people made it seem like, again, a lot of people associated it with some type of religion. You know what I'm saying? They made it religious. I'm like, no, I started studying. I was dealing with the facts. And this led to my changes. This led to me making certain changes in my life. I wasn't born into this lifestyle. I wasn't born into a plant-based vegan lifestyle. I started studying. You know what I'm saying? So I accepted facts. I accepted things that were the total opposite of what I was taught growing up. I accepted these things. because man, I couldn't deny the facts. I couldn't deny the evidence that was presented in front of me. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I started to experiment on my own self, and that led to the changes that I made. You know, I wasn't born into this. Kurt, peace, what's happening? I wasn't born choosing life. Great, peace, what's happening? I wasn't born into it. You know, I was deaf, dumb, and blind. I was part of the masses. I was opting for death and destruction and chaos. I embraced that. I ain't care anything about life. I ain't care anything about living. I was like, man, I'm finna eat all the trash food. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna have no respect for myself, no respect for women around me, no respect for people around me, nothing. The only thing I about did was exercise. That's it. But I had to change. Cripping 2 times. I'm trying to tell you, you know, I've been there, done that. Imagine the looks I get for not eating any meat and dairy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Can't go to no function without people looking at you crazy. But now I done been doing it for so long, it's like depending on where I go, people already know what's up. So it don't bother them, it don't phase them like it once did. But when I initially was making changes, obviously the pork was the first thing I gave up. And it was like the first things first, are you a Muslim? Got that every time. Had to keep telling people no, like I'm doing this for health purposes. Again, we always try to make something religious. I'm like, man, I stopped eating pork, and now automatically you got to make it religious. Like, nah, I'm doing this for health reasons. Pork is trash. It's not good for you. We all should stop eating that. You know, it ain't got anything to do with a religion. Like, pork should not be eaten. And I mean, if it did have anything to do with religion, it's a part of all of the religions, not just Muslims. You know, Islam ain't the only doctrine that's telling you not to eat pork. It's not just Islam. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Islam. You know, so I used to get that all the time, but I used to make that argument all the time. If you want to make it that, I'm like, man, Islam ain't the only religion that's telling you not to eat pork. But again, most people don't study. Most people don't even care to study outside of their traditional religion to even know that, or outside of the main religions to even know that. They don't even study their religion hard enough to know that their religion is telling them not to eat certain foods or to eat a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Antonio, my brother, peace, what's happening? So when you start choosing life over death, all the people that's choosing death around you, they gonna come for you. They gonna come for you. They gonna come for you hard. What we call the deaf, dumb, and blind, the 85, all of that. You know what I mean? When you start choosing life, they finna be looking at you crazy. When you change the music that you listening to, man, when you shoot, you might do something like listen to affirmations. You know what I mean? And they looking at you like you crazy. Like you might be vibing out to some sounds, man. Some sounds or some affirmations, and everybody got something to say. Man, I'm listening to some positive affirmations. How is that weird? E-Shep, peace, what's happening? Oh, Dion, they accuse you for being white. Just fresh, peace, what's happening? Dion, they accuse you of being white when you eat right, when you expand your vocabulary, when you read books. This is how brainwashed we are. You know what I'm saying? When you start reading books, when you expand your vocabulary, when you eat a certain type of way, they accuse you of being like the white folks or being a hippie. That's ridiculous. Well, call me that then. You know what I'm saying? Call me that then. But that's crazy. When you start making those type of changes, you are considered white, Caucasian, because you choosing to read, you choosing to expand your vocab. For the life of me, you let you be black amongst other black people and you use a different vocabulary word. Oh, it's a wrap. They gonna think you know what I'm saying? They gonna think you're stuck up. They gonna think you're trying to be bougie, you're trying to be white. All of that, man. I can't expand my vocab. That's why I don't want to associate with those type of people. I'm gonna get criticized because I'm choosing to expand my vocab. I don't have time for that. You dig what I'm saying? I don't have time for that. If I want to use a different word today, I should be able to use that different word without being criticized. Instead, you should ask me, what does this word mean? You just used a different word. What does it mean? Nah, don't make fun of that. Don't make fun of that. Cribbing 2 times, man. Hey, a lot of stuff that was known back then that a lot of our people were saying back then is starting to come to light. And even some of these doctors can't even refute it. You know what I'm saying? They getting on board. They just late. A lot of this stuff we been on. We been new. We been had knowledge of. But they had certain industries in their pockets, and they had to push that agenda because they was getting paid to. So we know what it is. Ronell, peace, what's happening? Chris, peace, what's happening? My brother. Kurt, our community is terrible with that. Terrible. When I started reading, I started changing the way that I was eating, and I even started changing the music that I was listening to. When I did all of that, I got more jokes than praise. Like I got more people criticizing me and making fun of me than like giving me credit or props. I ain't looking for neither one. I don't really care if you give me props or not. I'm gonna still do it. But like when I started making certain changes in my life, like I was getting shunned more than I was getting appreciated. And that was kind of hilarious to me. When I started to change the way that I was eating, I was getting criticized more than I was getting props. Like, hey, shout out to you for taking care of your health. Shout out to you for caring about your health. I was getting criticized. I was getting jokes. You eating grass. You eating like a rabbit. You eating this, that, and the third. You need to eat this. You need to eat that. I'm like, man, can y'all just be happy that I'm 20 years old and I'm deciding to put my health first? How about we do that? That did not happen. It may be happening now that people seeing that I'm consistent with it, but it's crazy. I would get criticized. Imagine this. I would get criticized, right, for eating some fruits and vegetables back then. I get criticized. Well, if you had somebody else that had a whole plate of garbage and they ate all of that garbage, they cleared their plate, they would get praised. Oh, look at them, ate all this food. Mothers eat fruits and vegetables and don't want to eat nothing else. You get criticized. Mothers eat a whole plate of slop and they be like, ooh, they eating all that food. Go get you some seconds. That's how you eat. Man, get out of here, man. And that's how I used to be. I'm reading and they like, hey, you need to stop. You know what I'm saying? Them books gonna drive you crazy. This, that, and the third. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. The wacky world of TV. Man, I'm trying to tell you. Gut health, fasting. Fasting is something that Elijah Muhammad pushed how to eat to live. That was intermittent fasting. I've talked about this several times. How to eat to live, both volumes, is basically intermittent fasting. They wasn't accepting it back then. They was making it seem like dude was crazy. Now all of a sudden they got all these books and all these doctors telling you to do intermittent fasting. Everybody intermittent fast now. Everybody does it. Everybody talking about I do 16-8. I intermittent fast. Everybody do that. But 10, 15 years ago, wasn't nobody talking about fasting, although every religion tells you to fast. But now everybody does intermittent fasting. Elijah Muhammad Ben gave you how to eat to live. He was telling you, eat one meal a day, then eat one meal every other day. So that's intermittent fasting. He literally was telling you that was intermittent fasting right there. Doctors was looking at him like he was crazy. Now they giving everybody the same advice. Now it's mainstream now to intermittent fast. Hey, eat one meal a day possibly. Antonio, man, it's like, hey, know the ledge or fall off that cliff. A lot of people have jumped right off that cliff and they have landed in the abyss of ignorance, man. That's where they at with it. You know, to the point where you can't have simple conversations with people, man. You may be trying to give them nothing but helpful advice and you just can't even do it because that's how far gone they are. They are. Just you say I get criticized for working out as much as I do. I've been there, done that. Why are you working out so much? You already built, you already in shape. Terrible comment. Maintaining is harder than reaching a goal. You know what I'm saying? Like you get in shape, you're supposed to stop working out so I can get back out of shape and then have to work out again. It's going to be that much harder. That don't even make any sense. So I'm supposed to work out, get in shape, start working out, get back out of shape, just have to repeat it? How about I don't get out of shape to begin with? Like that just be crazy to me when people start saying certain things. Nikki the Goddess, Peace Queen, what's happening? W. Atkins, peace, what's happening? Lindell, you say, how do you feel about the Ebonics language they laid on us? Was it a correct move? I mean, you know how we do it. You know, you got Creole, you got a lot of different variations of Ebonics. You know how black people do it, we creative. So I don't necessarily have a problem with it. My problem is if I choose not to go that route and I choose to expand my vocabulary and master this language in the region that we are existing in, you shouldn't criticize me for that. You know, if I show these white folks I can master y'all language too, then you shouldn't be calling, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be calling me names because I done mastered the dictionary and I'm expanding my vocab. Instead, like I said, strive to learn from that. They said Malcolm X started to memorize the dictionary when he was locked up. Malcolm X by far wasn't white and wasn't nobody calling him white. You know what I'm saying? But Malcolm X said, you know what? I'm going to memorize this dictionary while I'm locked up. So he expanded his vocab. Malcolm X ain't give me no white vibes. I don't know about y'all, but he ain't give me them vibes. But that's what he decided to do. MC, peace, what's happening? Man, Chris, like I said, just imagine the flack I get. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think y'all getting flack for decisions like that? Imagine not eating any of that. Imagine going to a function for a holiday and you not even eating. You ain't even eating. You fast. You drinking water. You know what I'm saying? Or you pop up with a green smoothie and you say I'm good. Imagine that. I ain't eating none of that. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine the flack. Imagine the looks. Imagine the type of energy that I have to deal with. Like that gets annoying after a while. Like for one, I'm not gonna keep explaining myself. But I don't have time for people looking at me crazy neither. You know what I'm saying? DJ Elmo, peace, what's happening? Yeah, W. Atkins. I tell people, that's why I tell people all the time, fasting is very, very much so free. Very much so free. I mean, it costs nothing to fast. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you dry fasting. It literally costs nothing. Like literally. Yeah, outcast, you know what I'm saying? We should master it. You know, we exist. We gotta live in reality, man. We in the wilderness of North America. Why not master this language? I'm not finna have them get one up on me. You know what I'm saying? Why not master this language? We gotta speak it anyway, so I'm gonna master it. Let me learn. Let me learn 5 to 10 new words a day or something. I'm gonna master this language. Learning new languages is nothing but beneficial. It prevents dementia and Alzheimer's. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna master this language that I gotta use. Might learn some other languages too, but I'm gonna definitely master the language that I have to use on a day-to-day basis. I have to type it, I have to speak it every day. Why wouldn't I master this language? It makes no sense. Whatever we feel about the language, whatever we feel about white folks and Europeans, we hear, and we got to speak the English language. So I'm gonna master it. I'm gonna speak the language better than they do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do that. All day, W.A. Atkins, yeah, for sure. They was terrified of brother Malcolm. Shout out to Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? The wacky world of TV, man, 100%. Prevention is better than trying to reverse. So you always take preventative measures because when you get to that point where it's time to reverse something, it's a lot more complicated. A lot more complicated. Like a lot more complicated. So it's better to take preventative measures. You do not want to be fighting a situation where you're trying to reverse it, especially in the society that we are in today. Man, you need everything to be almost near perfect to reverse a condition, a chronic, you know what I'm saying, or just a real bad condition. You need for your environment to be perfect, and it's hard for that to happen. So just take preventative measures, man. Oh, Chris, yeah, when I don't even like telling people I'm fasting. They don't like not the 16-8 fast, but like I'm going 24 hours or 48 hours on liquids or something. I don't got time for that. Oh, hey, wacky world. I've made a few posts to where I said one day people gonna miss the information and the inspiration that I have dropped. They're gonna miss it. Y'all know how I do it. Y'all know how the world treats you. Y'all know how the world treats you. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain people, when it comes to certain types of content, certain types of vibes, you get your flowers long after you gone. Some of our great ancestors, some of our great scholars, they had to receive a lot of their flowers and get a lot of their props well after they were gone. I made a post like that, speaking on myself. And I'm not even comparing myself to these greats. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even doing it. But what I'm saying is I have put out a lot of helpful information, whether it be me sharing books, whether it be me sharing quotes, anything. I feel like I've shared a lot of helpful information over the past 10 years, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, people going one day, whether it's I stop doing it, or like I say, I'm long after I'm gone, people going one day, they gonna miss that. They gonna realize I should have appreciated that while he was doing it. Now he's not doing it. Now we realizing we need it. That's how the world be doing you when you be dropping certain type of jewels. They gonna realize what they missing when it's gone. You know what I'm saying? When it's gone. Nappy Ted, need a piece, what's happening? DJ Elmo for sure. Hey, we should study the etymology, which is basically the origin of anything that we do. So that's anything that you engage in or indulge in, you should know the origin of it. Whether it's words, whether it's a lifestyle that you choosing to embrace, a religion, whatever the case may be, you should always get to the bottom of what it is that you're rocking with. Every time. Brother Atkins, appreciate that donation. Kurt, you say, what steps do you take in the gym while you're fasting? Well, I'm in a state now to where I work out in the fastest state every workout. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm striving to bulk up a little bit, add a little bit more muscle. You know, so it's really a mental thing, honestly, when it comes to working out while fasting. A lot of people feel like they're going to pass out. They feel like they need to eat something before they work out. That's really mental. What's happening is if you work out and you in a fasted state and you feel sick, you feel like you're about to pass out, it's not because of a lack of food. What's happening is the last meal that you ate, that's being used to fuel your workout, and it probably was trash. You know what I'm saying? So if you working out in that fasted state, you feel like you about to pass out, faint, your head hurt, and all of that. It's not that you need to eat, is that your last meal that you ate was horrible. So when I'm always consuming decent food. So like when I'm in a fasted state, it doesn't bother me. When I'm working out in a fasted state, it doesn't bother me. So when you eat clean 80 to 90% of the time, when you work out in that fasted state, the only thing that's really that may bother you is you may have an appetite. Like your stomach might be growling, but that ain't even associated with hunger. And you just got to bypass that. You got to get over that mentally. But in the beginning stages, you might go into a fast, and the day before the fast, you ate all garbage foods, and now you trying to work out, you feel like you about to die. You think, oh, I need to eat. That's the reason why my head is hurting. No, it's because you ate all trash foods, and now you trying to fast, and you working out, and your body needs fuel. So it's going to tap in to the last meals that you consumed, and that was all garbage. So now you got garbage fueling you for this workout. So now this is that headache. This is you feeling like you got to throw up and pass out. You got bad fuel. You know, so when you consume the right foods and then you fast and you work out, it don't feel that bad. Hey, Nita, I appreciate that for sure. For sure. You know, I hit y'all with the jewel, man. And it's another thing, too. I hit people with and I already knew what some people was going to say. But I expect for people to understand who y'all tapping into. So when I tell you a person who speaks about the school system and how trash it is, I've always spoken out against the school system. But I've always said, if you can use it to benefit you, go ahead. So when I go out and I say, I'm not a fan of the school system, but I'm thinking about going back to finish off the master's thing in philosophy so that I could become a professor, Best believe I got a plan. You know what I'm saying? So for all the people that was like, man, you don't need the white man credentials and all of this, dude, do not ever forget who y'all talking to. I'm not doing this to get listen, I'm not doing this to get praised by them. I'm not doing it to get rewarded by them. That's not why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I got a bigger plan. And I know that I can get within certain schools, the school system, and I can touch my people that way. I can learn the ins and out of a school. So then I can start my own school. So trust me, we have a plan. In order for me to execute this plan, I'm going to play by their rules real quick because I know how to do it. So at time, man, you be like, people got to chill, man. Like, you got to chill. That's when people start saying you're a sellout because you done went and got some credentials. Like, nah, I understand the world that I'm living in. It's certain things that I want to do. I'm going to play by a certain rule. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use them like they use us. That's how you got to do it. Divine, peace, what's happening? I'm using them like they using me. So we all going to benefit. You know what I'm saying? We all going to benefit. There's certain things that when you striving to do it, if you don't have certain credentials, they shutting you down. They won't let you do it. You know what I'm saying? They won't let you do that. So when you got a plan, you know what I'm saying, and you got a strategy to execute this plan, you got to do what you must do. So that's something that I must do, and I'm gonna do it. It's gonna all make sense. I need it for sure. That nonprofit, we starting that when it warms up. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be spring, summer. I'm gonna have that started up. I'm gonna have all that stuff in motion for sure. But man, y'all gotta understand, we in the wilderness of North America. Mark, peace, what's happening? It's a game. Learn how to play the game. Jamal, what you say? Fruits and vegetables, vegetable foods to eat while fasting, going on a 14-day herbal fast. All right, so if you detox and using fruits and veggies, hey, if you don't got any type of certain reaction to any fruits and vegetable, they all fair game. They all fair game. But yeah, man, we playing the game. We in the wilderness of North America. This is a game, man. So you gotta master the game. They give you listen. You read the books by these white folks. They giving you the game, but they don't think that we gonna read because they think that like they know our people gonna clown us and say you trying to be white by reading. So they put everything in these books. So when you read these books written by these folks, which that's what they did to us. They read the books. That's why they destroyed our libraries. You know what I'm saying? That's why they destroyed the libraries of black folks back in the day. That was our information. First, they got the information. They stole the information from us. You know what I'm saying? So they was reading the books, taking their own notes, remixing it, revising it to fit their agenda. Then they destroyed it. You know what I'm saying? So now they've taken our information, they've remixed it to suit them and say, all right, now we're gonna destroy the original copy. That's what they did. So we got to study them. So when they writing these books, read the books that they are writing. They are letting you know how to maneuver. They are letting you know how to master this game. They're giving you the tools. Literally, they're giving you the tools. They're giving you the tools. They're not shy about it. They will give you the tools. They don't think we're gonna read. They put it right there in our truth hidden in plain sight. They do it. That's what they do. That's how they move. That's how they function. Dread Mike, peace, what's happening? Kinger, man. Hey, I didn't the longest I went was 7 days on straight water. I did that in college. 7-day joint. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was feeling powerful. Real intuitive. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people, if you got a big decision that you need to make, fast. You know, as hey, our lessons say, I fast and I pray. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily do the prayer thing, but if that's what you do, boom, I may fast and meditate or something. You know what I'm saying? But hey, when you got an important decision, man, you got something that you wrestling with, fast, refrain from foods, meditate, pray, whatever it is that you do, telling you you're going to receive guidance, you're going to receive the answer. The wacky world, 100%. It can do nothing but assist you. Trying to tell you. Learn the game, master the game. Chaos, peace, what's happening? I ain't got no problem. Listen, I ain't got no problem going back, getting a credential. For one, to show them how easy it is to get the credential. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. It's easy. Like, this is easy. So I'm going to get the credential, boom. Y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do the professor thing. Next thing you know, we're going to have school set up. Oh, Dread Mike, those are, yeah, I got all that. I got all them joints. GM James is the man, but yeah, I got all them joints. Dion, oh, for sure. You know what I'm saying? They didn't depicted us in the worst of lights, depicted themselves in the best of lights, and we all know that 9 times out of 10 that be a lie. You know, their depiction is garbage and trash and incorrect, inaccurate, and same and vice versa. Nappy 100%. 100%. Like, when you know that you playing the game, then it's all good. Like, I know that I'm playing this game. I know I'm playing this game to win. So I'm not going to sell myself out. I'm going to maintain my integrity because I know that I'm playing the game. So I know what I'm not going to do. I know what I'm not going to allow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm knowing how I know how to maneuver and keep my integrity. So it ain't going to, like, they ain't about to get me to sell myself out. That's no good. It's not happening. Not happening at all. Atkins for sure. 7 days it was a monster, you know, because that was like the first time. That's when I first had came into fasting. So that was right when I was transitioning into that lifestyle. So I went right into a 7-day fast. So it was rough. Like, now I can do that with no problem if I wanted to. I just don't need to do it now, you know. But if I want to, I could do that with no problem. But back then, man, I was just like, man, let me see if I could do it. I did it, but it was rough initially. Then it became easier. Like they say, after day 3, I started to feel pretty good. But the first 3 days, man, it was rough. Those are always the roughest days when you're doing a prolonged, extended fast. And I was on straight water, you know, so that became complicated at them first 3 days. J Peace, what's happening? Hey, Dion, it charges us up. You know what I'm saying? It's like hooking your phone up to the charger when the battery is low. Your phone is about to die. You hook that joint up to the charger, boom, gives it light. That's what the sun does to us. That's our charger, fam. Like, when we feeling low on that energy, man, we might just need some sun to charge us up. That's what it's there for us black folk. That's why when black folks start talking about they don't like the heat, is too hot, I'm looking at them like, man, this is perfect weather for me. I'm finna go outside and get all of this sun, all of this heat. That charges me up. Charges me up big time. I love to see the sun, and I love to see the sun when it's bringing me heat. I love it. Charges me up. Charges me up 100%. So I don't get down with all that. Oh, it's too hot. Nah, I'm good. Hey, let's get it, Kingra, man. Hey, one step at a time. You do one fast, then the next fast you try to top that one. That's how you do it. Oh, DJ Elmo, man. Listen, I remember I used to go to store, you know, like Starbucks and things like little joints like that. I don't fool with the Starbucks, but I used to go in places like that, sit down and read, and you will see the people out the corner of their eyes, man, just staring at you. Staring at you like, man, I ain't never seen a black man read. That's very interesting. This black man is read. Wonder what he's studying for. Like, nah, I just like to read. Like, I just like to read. Like, this is what I do in my free time. I come here and I read. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read. But I used to get side-eyed all the time when I would go to public places and read. And I used to go run, right? And then after I would run, I would go sit on the bench outside and read out there while the sun was beaming. Everybody looking at me, man, what is he doing? This dude sitting outside reading. This is crazy. Never seen it before. Like this stuff should not be that crazy. Outcast Powernomics. I got that book behind me somewhere. I got all the Claude Anderson books. Shout out to Claude Anderson. But I got every book Claude Anderson ever wrote behind me somewhere. All these books y'all see behind me, I got every Claude Anderson book somewhere behind. John Hughes, peace. What's happening? Red Mike, man. Hey, I was on the verge before I found my space for my gym. I was on the verge of relocating to warmer climates. I was looking into Florida. I had some stuff lined up in Florida. It was either Florida, Las Vegas, some places in Cali that I was looking. And like Arizona. Like I was like, I can't do this cold, man. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for me. This ain't for me at all. But yeah, I was looking to relocate, man. I actually had some offers in Florida and places in Florida, you know what I'm saying? Like Tampa, Orlando, things like that. Didi, you say how many books you think you read so far in your life? That's a good question. Man, I don't probably say about over 1,000 so far. And I'm a late bloomer. I consider myself a late bloomer as far as reading goes. I ain't started reading until I went to college. You know what I'm saying? So this about 12, 13 years ago. No. This was about 15 years ago, 14, 15 years ago. So I feel like I'm a late bloomer. But once I tapped in, I'm locked in. You know, so once I realized all the information they was putting in books, I was like, nah, it's time for me to read. Like when I tell y'all I was reading, especially in the beginning, because I feel like I was making up for lost time. You know, I feel like I was making up for lost time. Once I got hip, man, I was reading like a maniac. When I got hip, man, I'm talking about I wasn't going to sleep. I'm staying up all night reading. I'll read a book in like a day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about a heavy book. So I had like back then I was reading books in like a day. So I was just imagine that you read about 4 or 5 books in a week because you reading this book. You know what I'm saying? Like now I just slowed down, but I'm even trying to speed back up now. Oh yeah, needed for sure, 100%. And the crazy thing about that is too, like when I read, like I'm always using tactics to help with the memory. Because I've told myself, because I've seen people with dementia and I've seen people with Alzheimer's, and I swear on my life I'm never going through that ever. I refuse to go that path. I don't wish that on nobody based off what I've seen. You know, so I'm like, man, so every time I read, man, I got flash. Man, listen, I keep my flash, like I keep the notes bow. Like I got listen, man, I got this all these note cards right here. Y'all see all these note cards, all these flash cards. This is one book. This all these flash cards right here comes from one book. Like that's one book. There's like 20 flash cards for like one book. So I'm always taking notes. It's like I'm quizzing myself. That's how you really tap in with the memory. You know, you gotta, it's one thing to read, but you gotta read with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta skim through it. You gotta say, all right, before I read this chapter, what do I feel like I'm gonna take away from this chapter? Ask yourself a few questions beforehand. You know, so now you're reading with a purpose. That helps with the memory. So just don't read. You know, you gotta read with a purpose. You gotta read with the intention of taking away things from this book. You know what I'm saying? And from this chapter. So each chapter, you should have like 5 questions that you're looking to answer during this chapter. That's helping with the memory. That's comprehension. You know, so it's one thing to read, but it's one thing to hold on to what you read. You know, So that right there, man. And then doing different things. Like I'm kind of ambidextrous, but I'm left hand. Like my dominant hand is my left hand. So from time to time, I may do things that I normally do with my left, do it with the right. That helps with dementia. Things like it helps prevent that. Things like that. You know, of course, hemp seeds, blueberries, all that. You know what I'm saying? That also helps as far as foods. But like, man, you just gotta switch it up, do different things, take a different path to work. Stop using your phone to get you to a location. Instead, this is what I do. I might, if I'm going somewhere I ain't never been, I might look up the directions time to time and memorize them and see if I can get there off of sheer memory. We had to do that back in the day when we looked at maps. You know what I'm saying? So I tap into that. Sometimes I do not let my phone guide me. Like if I'm going somewhere I haven't been in my area, it's like, hold up, I've been here too long to be letting this phone guide me. So sometimes I'm like, let me look up how to get there, and I just memorize the directions. You know what I'm saying? Because really the only thing you gotta memorize is what to do once you get off the highway. You know what I'm saying? So I just memorize directions and I go off of that. So I'm tapping into the memory at all times. I ain't going. I ain't going. I ain't going at all. Like I refuse to go out like that. Like I said, just based off of things that I have saw, I refuse to go out like that. I refuse. Mark Parker, what'd you say? Did he touch on the football player situation? Oh, no. And speaking of that, hey, and shout out to Damar Hamlin. I don't know if y'all saw that, man, but they had a game last night, and dude made a tackle, collided with a player, man. He got up, man. Bro just collapsed. You know, they said it was like cardiac arrest. And the last thing I heard was that he's fighting for his life. He's still in critical condition. You know, so hey, man, I'm sending all positive energy to that young bull and his family. Hopefully he pulls through. But that was not a good sight to see that brother collapse like that. You know what I'm saying? That was not a good sight at all. So shout out to Damar Hamlin and his family. I'm sending all positive energy in that direction. But last thing I heard, still in critical condition, fighting for his life. Don Core, yeah, for sure. And that's I attribute that to, for the most part, we always taught how to do things by right-handed people. Like I'm left-handed, but I write with my right hand. But even when I write with my right hand, I write like a left-handed person. That's simply because I probably was taught how to write by right-handed people. So it's crazy. Yeah, Dallas, I heard he got the booster joint like 2 weeks ago. That's what I heard. That's word on the street. But y'all know how that go. You speak on that, boy. They about to tell you nope, misinformation, fact checkers, and all that. But yeah, that was a horrible situation, man. A young bull, foul, tackle made, stands up, collapses. Crazy. And you know, from anybody, like I played football for a very long time. You know, so I hate to see that. I hate to see that, man. Why you say, do you believe it was the tackle that caused the heart attack? I'm going to say no, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna say no. Like I don't necessarily believe that tackle caused the problem. It could have been an underlying condition. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say underlying condition. But I don't think the tackle caused him to collapse like that. I don't think that was the cause of the collapse. Like, I mean, it wasn't no hard hit. I mean, dude got up in his chest, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that caused that. I could be wrong. But like I said, I believe it was an underlying condition. But y'all know how I go. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that's gonna go. Ain't no telling what they gonna tell us. You know, ain't no telling what they gonna tell us. But y'all already know. But I don't think the tackle caused that. That's where I'm at with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think the tackle led to dude collapsing like that. I don't think that was that. But yeah, you know, that was a terrible situation just to have to witness. I saw the video, all that, you know, it was like, dang. You know, I just saw a few. I didn't, you know, saying we lived in a time where we just saw a few deaths like on the field, and you know what I'm saying. We just seen a few of that, we done seen that happen a few times in our lifetimes and whatnot. But hopefully, this brother pulls through. You know what I'm saying. Keep on fighting, young bull. We sending positive energy all in that direction. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I didn't pull my hour. I did my hour. I got to make some runs, head back to this gym, finish off this training. So I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid, listen to the build. Hopefully, hopefully y'all attain some jewels from this conversation. If not, oh well, maybe next time. But I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday. I may try to tap back in with y'all tomorrow. Who knows? It be depending on how I feel, depending on how my day be going. If not, man, y'all already know I do some uploads for y'all, man, just to keep the inspiration and information flowing, you know. So again, man, I'm out. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday. And if I don't tap in with y'all tomorrow, enjoy your Wednesday as well. Y'all be easy. Peace.